We are in Midtown Toronto. It's a semi-detached old Victorian home in an annex neighborhood. And I live here with my husband and my 2 little boys and another one on the way. When I came to see the house in person for the first time, I just immediately fell in love with it. It looked absolutely nothing like this, but the core foundation of it was just remarkable. It has such high ceilings. There is beautiful stained glass windows that I fell in love with. And the space itself, there was so much potential. You know, we could get everything in this house that we wouldn't necessarily have been able to in a different house. Originally was set up as a duplex. So when you walked in, there was actually a foyer a little bit smaller than it is now with 2 doors that were shut. One was open into this area that we're standing in, and then the other one went straight up to the 3rd floor. Because we have a mudroom in the basement, I didn't need so much storage in the front. I just wanted to keep it very open so that a lot of people could fit through at one time, because we were used to coming from a house that had a tiny little entry and then for the front hall closet, but it ended up being that the way the stairs were, we had some extra storage in there and we just tucked it away over there. So this is the spot right under the stairs where we were able to fit in our front hall closet. On the exterior, there is an arch as you walk into the front door. So I wanted to unify the house from the exterior to the interior. And it's also a nice separation between the front of the house and then the back of the house. And because it's the depth of it, we get some extra storage on both sides of it. We needed this area of the dining room to function as a hallway into the back of the house, which has the kitchen and the family room, but also function as a dining room. So in order to do that, I wanted to push the dining table against the wall so that it created that natural hallway path from the foyer into the kitchen area. I created this millwork with a long banquette in the middle. The millwork serves as additional storage. There's actually a bar and some wine storage behind one side. We have kids and nieces and nephews, and all the kids love to just sit together on the banquette, and it's in a vinyl durable material, so I don't have to worry about staining. It just creates a cozy environment as well as being a pathway from the foyer into the rest of the house. This space was too long to have as a dining room. Both my husband and I work from home, and it just made sense to have my office in the front and also these beautiful windows and the view and whatnot. But I wanted these 2 spaces to be able to work together. That's why I did these bi-folding glass rib doors, so that if I'm working in my office and I want to have a bit more privacy, I can close the doors off, but the light can come through into the dining room. If I do entertain and have larger parties, I can do an extender table and we can use these 2 areas as one if we need to. I wanted to have an organic shaped desk. Because it's a smaller space, I felt that having something curved would be better suited for the space. And then on one side of the office, I continued the millwork from the dining room. That's where all my sample library is housed, and I have so much space for everything in there. I really wanted to keep the traditional aspects of the home, but pair that with more modern elements to create this cozy transitional environment. So I have traditional molding styles, but cleaner lined furniture and lighter textures to create a sort of soft interior within a more traditional space. Basically, the kitchen started with the stained glass. There was 3 spaces where we had the stained glass windows, and I immediately fell in love with them when I saw the house. So I knew these were elements that had to stay. The marble is what does the talking in the kitchen. I wanted something that was busy, something that was unique. The marble is more modern, but it works well with the more simple aspects of the kitchen. One of the things I love most about my kitchen is this floating marble shelf that I have displayed right in front of the window. It was a big deal with the fabricator to kind of get this up into place, as it was a heavy piece of marble, but we managed to make it work and I couldn't be happier with it. I wanted the kitchen to feel timeless and not be too trendy. I used a soft neutral cream paint color for the cabinets. I ended up going with a framed kitchen and a slab door style so that it just stayed really clean. On the other side of the kitchen, there's a breakfast banquette. It's small, but I wanted there to be enough space to fit a small family where we can all eat together. I also have on that side a large fridge and freezer, and then there's also pocket doors that open up into a coffee station and toaster. So all our appliances get hidden in there and we don't have to keep anything on the counters. You wouldn't think necessarily in the family room that looks like this, there are young kids living in this house, but all the materials used in the space are completely kid-friendly. The ottoman is upholstered in a vinyl fabric. The sofa is upholstered in a FiberGuard fabric material, so if the kids get on there with messy hands and whatnot, usually it's just a spot clean wipe up. There's been ketchup spilled many times on my carpet already, and because it has that thicker texture to it, it's usually just a quick spot clean right away and it comes out. I want the room to feel comfortable, cozy, and welcoming to other people. I don't want it to feel like you can't touch anything in it, but really, you know, when there's kids running around it, you don't get that feeling at all. We placed the mudroom in the basement in the back of the house because there's actually a door that has stairs leading out into our backyard where our parking is. The mudroom is an amazing space where we keep all of our jackets, coats, boots, kids stuff. It's nice to have it tucked away in the basement so that, you know, it's not on the main floor. 99% of the time we are going in and out through the basement. The second floor, we have 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms up there. I also wanted to create one small, cute little nook area where we could all gather, read books before bedtime, and eventually, as the kids get older, create a desk there for them to do homework. This house has a 3rd floor. We really lucked out with that space. It was originally used as a 1-bedroom apartment. There's so much space in there. So up there we have our principal ensuite. There was originally a fireplace, but it had a different mantle. The mantle that you see in there now was originally on the main floor of this house, which I immediately fell in love with when I walked into the home. It brings so much warmth to the space, and I love the original character that it brings, and who wouldn't want a fireplace in their bedroom? My husband and I both have a lot of stuff, so we knew we needed a lot of storage for the walk-in closet. We wanted to keep all of it as closed millwork so that, you know, you don't see any exposed clothing, so that it just stays really neat and tidy. I really love neutral color palette, whereas my husband loves color. So when we went to look at slabs, he immediately fell in love with the emerald green quartzite slabs. He actually was the one who pushed me to use that color in our bathroom. It ended up working so nicely, and because it's not a dark green or too bright, it really does feel like a neutral to me, and it works so well in the space, and I love it. It was very difficult renovating and decorating and designing my own home. I'd say the easiest part was pretty much the space planning. The hardest part was finessing over all the materials, the fixtures, the furniture, you know, finalizing all of that. But at the end of the day, I said one thing to myself: will this stand the test of time? And if the answer was yes to that question, then I knew it worked. I really wanted to stick to what felt true to me and true to my family and could grow with us.